Good evening, friends. Welcome to card class. I am so excited about our card class tonight. We're going to make 6 cards. This is how I run my card class. So my every week Facebook Live occurs at this time, and I usually make 1 or 2 projects. But card class is like extra large Facebook Live because we do 3 cards, okay, using different stamp sets. And these 3 particular stamp sets are all on the last chance list. So they're all going to be unavailable after May the 3rd. So it is time, people. I had to check the date there. So we're going to make 6 cards. Now, I'm going to show you how to make them. You don't have the stuff to make them yet because this is card class. But when you have an order, which I'll tell you about in a minute, then you get the make and takes in the mail for free. Okay, so that's super awesome. So I'm curious, is there any stamp set that is on the last chance list that was your favorite? So if you're just tuning in, then I would love to hear, what is your favorite retiring stamp set? Okay. Hello, Mother. My mom is here. What is your favorite retiring stamp set? Is what I want to know. I would have to say, of these 3 that we're talking about tonight, my favorite retiring set is this. It's called High Tide. High Tide. And it will be gone. It's such a neat set. We've had this set for a while. I have a lot of cards that I've made with it over the years. I've sent them all out. Oh, Mom says happy thoughts. Yes, that is a good one. But I've sent them all out. A lot of them are thinking of you cards based on the stamp, the sentiments in the set. So those are on the retiring list. All right, let me get our projects under the screen here, and then I will flip you over. All right, so hold on, people. We are turning around. So I would love to know who's here. Say hello if you're watching. Don't be shy. One of my favorite things for you to do, for me, is to share this video, okay? So we are a group of stampers, and this is my business, and I would love to share that business with as many people as possible. Barb is here. Hello, Barb. I'm glad you found us live. Sometimes you have to watch the replay, but guess what? She is live and in the flesh. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie and Barb. So share this video. I would love for as many people as possible to be able to see our fun class that we're doing tonight. Now, we do have a prize for a drawing at the end, and the winner will receive these pastel pearls. They've been pretty hard to come by because they were so popular. They went on back order quite a bit. So I will draw after the event. I will look at all the people that shared and liked this video, and I will draw for a prize. All right, now you will find, I know Barb has already found it, and as well has Jamie Spoor have found the link to order for the class. So it's in the email that I sent if you registered. If you didn't register, it's also listed in the Facebook post that you're watching currently, should be. If you have any trouble with your order, just text it to me, just Facebook me, just email me. I check all my notifications very regularly. So if you are not savvy with online ordering, I will help you. But you do want to make an order tonight, because if you do make an order of 30 or more, then you get the make and takes to make 2, 2, 2, okay? 6 cards total, and those will come to you in the mail free. All right, this is your host code. If you go through the link I sent in the email, you don't even have to worry about that. It's already in the host code. And then if your order is $50 or more, you get 2 bolts of ribbon. And actually, for every $50, then you get 2 full bolts of ribbon. Okay, so if it's $100, you'll get 4 bolts. Okay, so etc., etc. All right, these are the stamp sets that we're using: Strong and Beautiful, Arrange Your Wreath, and High Tide. All right, so if you want to order those are the stamp sets that we're using. Also in this post, I have a link to the last chance list. This is obviously not the only things that are retiring. These are the ones that I just chose for today's class. So you will want to check that out. There are so many good deals on ribbons, on kits, on inks, on just everything. So you don't want to let that chance pass you up. Also, if you are a happy shopper, your happy shopping discount does stack on top of any of these last chance discount prices. So don't forget that. Okay, so let's get started with our first card using High Tide. Now, I love a good card that fully utilizes a stamp, okay? And what I mean by that is this card really lets our stamps brag. Okay, so this is what I would call a simple stamping card. And you may say, well, that doesn't look very simple. But what I mean by the fact that it's a simple stamping card is it only involves stamping. Okay, there's nothing else on the card, but isn't it beautiful? So don't the stamps just do the job? I think they do. And that's one of my favorite things about this stamp set, is that it stands so well on its own. All right. So let us get started. You're going to have all the dimensions in the instructions that I will email you when you register for the class. If you for some reason did not get a chance to register for the class, then just message me on Facebook and I will make sure you get those PDF instructions for these projects. Just message me your email. So let us get started. We are going to need a bajillion stamps. Okay, and I already have them all on blocks, ready to roll. So let us grab our inks that we need. And I see I need one more ink. I'm going to go with Daffodil Delight here. Sorry, I grabbed all my inks except one. So for this card, we're going to use quite a few inks. We're going to use Memento Black. You make sure it's good and inky. Pool Party or Balmy Blue. I used Balmy Blue here, but I'm going to try Pool Party. Crumb Cake, Mossy Meadow, and Daffodil Delight. Okay, so these are the inks that I am using. And your kit, when it comes, will have the paper that you need to make your projects. You'll have one that's the base of the card and then one of the smaller pieces. And this is all made with thick basic white, okay, because you need the thickness of that to really hold up for a card. All right, so say hi if you're here, and like I said, don't forget to share this video. I love it when people share because that means more people get to see our fun projects. All right, so Crumb Cake is what we're going to start with, and we're going to start by stamping the sand. Now, I had a problem. This stamp is made to where the lighthouse nests in it. So I decided to turn it around and use it the other way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is be careful to only ink up like the top portion of it. Okay, so I'm not getting that little part that's down here, that's underneath that hook, so to speak. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make sure that I'm well within my range of stuff that I inked. And I'm just going to see what I did there. So you're just going to ink up the part that's not in that little hooky part. And you're just going to get all kinds of sand, okay? You can stamp right over where you've already stamped. That gives it some extra texture. we're going to ink that up. We need a little extra down here. So just keep inking and stamping until you feel like your sand is adequate. And I'm feeling good about that. I think I'm going to leave it as is. All right, who else is here? Oh, Jackie says hello. Okay. Now, we have our little seagulls, and they are going to go right here in the middle. Before I stamp them, though, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sand. And you know what? I'm going to make my sand more straight across because I remembered now I make that water behind it. So let me get my sand a little bit more uniformy. I'm going to do this and just get it kind of evened out a little bit better. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to pop in with my pool party for my water. Now all these images are just stamps. So we've got this cool water stamp, and I'm gonna use pool party. Oh, Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie. So glad you got to show up tonight. I got your order. Thank you. That is so exciting. You missed the announcement that for every $50 of purchases, you get 2 bolts of ribbon. So you're going to have quite a few bolts of ribbon coming your way. I'm so excited. Full bolts of ribbon. All right. So yay. All right, we're going to stamp this. Oh, that's pretty. I like the pool party. I really do. I mean, I like balmy blue too, but you can use either one. Which one do you guys like? Balmy blue or pool party? Balmy blue is on the right, pool party's on the left. They're both pretty, but and you can even go in and put in a few more layers, like of pool party that's like lighter. You can just kind of keep playing around with it until it looks like a good ocean. And I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to stamp my little, oh, I learned this the hard way. Stamp your sentiment next, because then you can put your birds and your sentiment don't bump into each other. So this was my first and this was my second, and I like my second one better. So that's the great thing about 2 cards, is you get a chance to really mess one up. Okay, you like pool party. That's good. Okay, we have a consensus so far of pool party. I do too. I've always loved it. It'll be a sad day if that color ever goes away. I can't imagine, but you know, everything has a timeline. Okay, so we want to make sure our birds are standing in the sand. They wouldn't be standing in the, well, they wouldn't, they're standing in the sand. Just take my word for it. And I told y'all I was going to do my sentiment, and then I went and stamped those birds, didn't I? Well, it's fine. I know where it's going to go. So with this see-through stamp, though, you definitely want to stamp on a mat, a Stampin' Pierce mat, or I'm even using my Stamparatus mat right here because I forgot to grab my Stamparatus mat. I mean my Stampin' Pierce mat. So you need something squishy underneath these see-through photopolymer stamps. That's how they were designed. You need something to create a cushion, and I think it's pretty intuitive. If you look at our other stamps, the stamps themselves have a cushion in them, okay, our red rubber stamps, but our clear stamps don't have a cushion at all, okay? So you need to provide the cushion, which is what we're doing there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sun, and it is stamped with Daffodil Delight. So pretty. It's just gorgeous. I happen to be going to the ocean pretty soon. I'm going to Hawaii in a few weeks on a trip that I earned from Stampin' Up, so I'm just a little bit excited about that. I never thought the trip would come. It's gotten canceled and rescheduled, and I earned it like 3 years ago, so it seems like the trip that would never happen, but I think it actually might be happening at this point. Okay, now we need our birds. They're off in the distance. The sun is setting, so they're like a shadow. They're going to be like our birds. They're going to be with memento. Gorgeous. And we are going to then take our, there's a couple of stamps in here that are little fronds, like sea ferns. I'm sure they have a word, but the ones that you're not supposed to mess with when you're at the beach. Okay, so I am going to use a dark green called Mossy Meadow. It's the perfect one for this. And I'm just gonna get it real inky, and I'm gonna put some greenery here, and I'm going to put some greenery here and here. So basically on your, these are little bits of greenery coming right out of your sand, and that's just perfection. Okay, so two things to love about this stamp set. One, it lets your stamp shine. Beach grass, thank you, Jamie. You're so right. The stamps themselves let your stamping shine. All you need to do is stamp, and it's gorgeous. No other things needed. And also the sentiments are so wonderful. So these are very encouraging, uplifting. There's nothing little about the light you shine. You have the most amazing ability to take an ordinary moment and make it shine. High tide, low tide, all be on your side, which I love for this card. And let hope be the beckoning lighthouse, be their lighthouse beckoning you through stormy seas. So any stamp that says the word hope, I usually keep because my daughter's name is Hope. And it's one of my favorite words. Okay, so that's it. That card is absolutely complete and gorgeous. So if you don't already have High Tide, I suggest that you add it to your stamping collection. It is a must-have. All right, now let me go on a little hunt for some adhesive. We were using it last night in the other room. And I shall, for now, use, I'm going to use dimensionals. I can see I use dimensionals for this anyway. So we're going to pop this layer up. So sometimes when I do this simple stamping, and oh, hi Cheryl. Okay, we got more information here and more people joining us. Jamie says, oh my gosh, you live 2 miles away from Lake Michigan. Jamie, you probably already have this set, but if you don't, you absolutely need it. And I'll tell you, my family and I went on a road trip. We have cousins that live in Lake Orion, Michigan. And so we went on a road trip all the way around the United States from Arkansas, which is where I live. And we saw lighthouses and the Great Lakes in Michigan. So I know right your area. I've been there, believe it or not, by car. So that's awesome. Patience says that sea oats are illegal to pick because they help with erosion. Yes, you cannot mess with the ocean, whatever situation they have there. Cheryl, hi, Cheryl is here. Oh, I'm so happy to see these people. Okay. Now, before I forget, if you live in Central Arkansas, okay, if you don't live in Central Arkansas, don't worry. I'm going to be doing these card classes online every month on Facebook Live. So do not fret. But if you do live in Central Arkansas, then I will be starting back my live classes after I get back from my trip. So this same card class will be in a live version at my mother's house. And I'm looking around for my schedule. Let me look one more place before I give up. I think I've moved that into the other room. Anywho, it's like the Thursday after I get back, the last Thursday in May. I'll send y'all an email with the information. Oh, hello, Melanie Wyatt. Good to see you. Melanie lives in Chicago. She's one of my sister's good friends. I'm wondering if I went live on my personal page. Oh well, if I did, then everyone gets to come to card class tonight. Okay, let us move on to the next card. So we are going to make, so we just finished this cute ocean card. The next is, let's go with this one. This is a bright and cheery card. You could use it for lots of purposes. This would be a great wedding card. And it uses the stamp set called Arrange a Wreath. Okay, so Arrange a Wreath is a stamp set that, believe it or not, I had to have purchased it, and I absolutely left it in the box and never used it. This does happen from time to time. It's a very sad story. So since it was on the retiring list, I got that sucker out, and that is what we're using tonight. Now, if you are on my email list, you may know that I have already said that it is possible that things on the last chance list could sell out if everything on the last chance list is while supplies last. So the dies for this set have sold out. So they are gone. But the stamp set itself is still available, and it is gorgeous. So let us get to work. Now, these wonderful colors are our in colors from this past year. They are around for 2 years, so we're still very into these guys. We are going to still need our, do I? Yes, I do need my paper that goes behind it. So in your kit, you'll have a smaller square piece, and that is what you're going to need to do your stamping. And the colors we're using for this card, well, actually, let me show you this stamp set real quick. I showed y'all that pretty fast. So the cool thing about this stamp set is it is versatility, okay? There's nothing that beats it. We have Valentine's, thank you, or fall, either. Easter, wedding, any best wishes. Merry Christmas. We've got some pears. Easter, the partridge, or just a pretty bird. I love that for the best wishes. A great stamp, some hearts. Obviously, you can see where that goes. This could be like a little baskets, fall leaves. So I'll show you a couple cards I've had my team members made with this. Actually, Patience Holt made both of these, and here she is on the video. Now, first of all, I think you'll be shocked that I was able to dig these out of my boxes of cards, so I was quite pleased and tickled that I found them. There is another card that I'll have to find and show you, and I'll post it on my Facebook page that Carol Bailey made with these. That's just stunning. But Christmas, thanks. Okay, so just keep in mind that we're just the tip of the iceberg for what cool projects you can make with Arrange a Wreath. So this is not one you want to let slip by and not be in your little stamp area. All right, so we're gonna start with this gorgeous wreath, and it just barely fits on my block, but it works. I've tried it. We're gonna ink it up with Just Jade. Did I already mention we're using Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Bumblebee? Okay, so these are our 3 colors. I actually got the idea for this card from Julie Davison. She's one of my favorite stampers. She's the sweetest thing on earth, but she also has the cutest, simple card designs, which I love for card class because I want you to be able to make these cards at home. All right, now, if there's a stamp set that you don't have and you don't want, obviously, you just use whatever stamps you have at home to make a pretty card. There's so many options. All right, so we've got our gorgeous Just Jade wreath. That in and of itself is just, it's everything. I love it. Now we're going to use, there's a little scrap in here of basic white, and we're going to stamp the flower with our Magenta Madness. Now you may recognize this flower because it is, it matches a punch that was a free celebration item last year and is in our current catalog. And guess what? Along with tonight's theme, it is retiring, okay? So if for some reason your sweet craft stash does not include this small blossom punch, I would be shocked, but oh, don't you, Jackie? I do too. But if it does not, it needs to come into your craft room and stay there. So we're going to stamp and then punch these cute little flowers. Now your kit will just have the scrap, so you can use any punch you want if you don't have this punch, but you'll have the scrap of white. Okay, so you're going to stamp 3 little, oh, I made a boo-boo on my project, but we'll just have to put this flower right here and we'll never know that it was there. See, there's always a way, always a way. All right, now let's see. Let us make this be another wedding card. So we're going to go with best wishes. And one of the things I love about Bumblebee as a color is sometimes when you have yellow in crafting, it doesn't show up very well. Do you agree? Sometimes yellow just gets sort of lost. But Bumblebee is a yellow that stands on its own. It's like, it's got everything. It's dark enough that it shows. So that's why I love it. One of the reasons I love it. So we're going to stamp. Then that's how you would get that ribbon if you choose to. But what I am going to use is this Bumblebee ribbon, which is not retiring, and I'm quite happy about this. So this is our Bumblebee gingham ribbon. I'm going to tie a cute little bow. And voila. It ties really easily. And I will grab my special scissors and trim off that edge. Okay. I think I love the ribbon even more than the little paper bow. They're both cute, but that ribbon is so cute. I think that's probably my favorite ribbon that was in this most recent catalog. Okay, let us put our little piece in here. Now, I don't know where my Stampin' Seal is, so I'm just going to do the glue dot trick and use glue dots to stick my layer inside of my card. It's possible you can use glue dots for that. We're going to use some more to stick in our Bumblebee layer. So I love this card layout. You will see it again. I just haven't used it before, but I love it. So it will be featured in another card class near you, I'm sure. Let us find our, where did it go? Our square. Oh, I stuck it over there. And we will use dimensionals to pop our square piece up. Love it, love it. And that is that. Voila. Now we're going to pop our little flowers up with dimensionals. It's a little off kilter there, but you know why. You know why. Have to cover up my boo-boo. I'm gonna go ahead and put my ribbon down. I think I'm gonna put that one smack in the middle. And then I'm going to put this guy, oops, that didn't quite pan out, right here. Okay, but this is not done yet. This is a wedding card, so it needs to sparkle, am I right? So we are going to use our rhinestone basic jewels, and I am going to use, hey, this is one of my favorite tricks, so I don't know if you know, but we can color our jewels, our rhinestones and our pearls, we can color with Stampin' Blends. Okay, so we're gonna make that Stampin', use that. This is a dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend to color our rhinestone jewel, and just give it a sec, because if you just touch it immediately, you'll wipe it all off. So we're gonna pop that there, there, and there. And now we sparkle. And so we're ready for the next wedding that comes our way. Awesome. So lots of versatility with that set. And you want to make sure and pick up this small bloom punch. Let me see if it's called small bloom or small blossom. Let's see. You see all these pink tabs in here? These are all of the things that are leaving the catalog. So there's a link to this post and in the email that I sent that takes you, oh yes, it's the small bloom punch, 152,316. I'll write that down, 152,316, small bloom. You will want to check out all the things that are retiring and make sure there's nothing missing off of your list. Okie dokie smoky. So any questions about those cards so far? Okay, we are all still hanging on for card number 3. Now, I'm really excited about card number 3. It uses some very cool things, all right? First of all, we have a new catalog coming up. So this will be the focus of my Facebook Live next week. We will have a new catalog kickoff. So you will want to join me next week for this, okay? It is going to be fantastic. 7 o'clock right here, all right? Everything that we use is going to be from this new catalog, all right? But I just had to sneak peek a little bit of our new colors. So these are some of our new in colors. They're called Pale Papaya, Fresh Freesia, and Evening Evergreen. Now, if you are a happy shopper, you can order these right now. Many of you have. If you are not, you need to think about being a happy shopper because, first of all, we get to order everything early. But second of all, we also get a good discount. So when your order gets to about $75 or $100, that's something you really need to consider as doing. But don't do it tonight because we're about to have a really cool special coming up next week. So stay tuned and make sure and come to my catalog kickoff and you will hear all about the cool special that you have when you join Stampin' Up. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of my way because I am like a whirling dervish when it comes to crafting, and I will have stuff from here to Kingdom Come by the time we're done. All right, and I'm sorry, Evening Evergreen is the stamp color that I use for this stamp. Now you'll also spy some new paper, okay? So we're gonna use a little smidge of this pansy paper. So on one side, we have the super cute, and this is all in the new catalog. You have all these cute pansy patterns, which who doesn't love a pansy? I mean, in Arkansas, pansies can make it all the way through winter, which I think is pretty fascinating. And there's tiny little bees on here. But if you turn it over, voila. Okay, so we have the new In Killers Pale Papaya. We've got the Evening Evergreen, the Soft Succulent, the Fresh Freesia, Soft Succulent. This is a Bumblebee, and I'm thinking this is probably Calypso Coral. So lots of gorgeous colors here. And this is one of the suites that we're going to use at the catalog kickoff. So you want to come because it's going to be cool. But I used just a smidgen of it in our project here. And I'm using one of my favorite sets of dies, which is not retiring. So if this is one of the things that you want to add to your list tonight, then you may. And this would be a great thing to get to use for far into the future, and that is the Stitched So Sweetly dies, okay? They have all of the dies that you could ever need. I like them so much, I have 2 sets. So we're about to use this one, and we're going to use these 2. And let's see if any of these belong in there. Nope, these are from other sets. But lots of neat dies in this set. But let me pull the ones out that we're going to use. Okay. Back in their homes. And they go with the stamp set called So Sentimental that actually is retiring. So if you have the Stitch So Sweetly dies, you want to make sure and have those ready. Okay, so let me get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here at the ready. I'm going to have to raise up the screen a bit so you can see. And first I'm going to start with my designer paper. Just going to build my sandwich, and your instructions for how to build the sandwich is right there on the plates. Don't be intimidated by the machine. It tells you what to do. It tells you what to do. We're going to cut. Now, your piece of designer paper will come already cut, so for your class. So don't worry. All this will be done for you. So there's our cute little piece that's going to go on our card. Isn't that adorable? And then we're going to use our fresh freesia. We have a scrap in here. And then I'm going to grab a scrap of, actually I already cut this one out. So pretend like you watched me cut that out. Wow. And the last thing we're going to cut is a fresh freesia. I love this color. I love this color. And I just have to say something that's probably going to be a little hard, but I have a dear friend named Patty Downs who I met the very first time I went to a stamp class in the year 2000. She loves purple. She passed away from breast cancer this week. So every time I use purple in my crafting, it is a wonderful reminder of Patty. And it's just this purple. She saw it before she passed. But this purple would have her on cloud 9, and it has me too. It's so pretty. So you think of Patty when you stamp too, and that will make me happy. All right, we have our card base, which is made from this pale papaya. Here, let's go back down so y'all can see better what I'm doing. Pale papaya, and we're going to stick this strip of fresh freesia down with our adhesive of choice. Yours would probably be Stampin' Seal. Mine happens to be a glue dot today because I have my Stampin' Seals in the other room. I'm doing, one of the things I'm working on right now is that Mom knows, she's helped me before, is a big set of swaps that I take on my trip to Hawaii. So we used a lot of Stampin' Seal and dimensionals and all of those things. Last night, my daughter Hope and I were working on those swaps. You know, they have to be over the top because these are all the people that earned a trip, and so we have to bring our A game, right? These cards are also very gorgeous, but they are made with the idea in mind that you can do these at home. They're so cute and simple. All right, so we're going to pop that down right about here. This is a neat little card. And we are going to then, this fresh freesia is going to go right here. And I want to go ahead and just put a couple of dimensionals on the corners here. That way you've got two different levels here, and so that's going to hold that right down where it needs to go, but allows this to be where it needs to be. And I'm actually just going to sneak a little glue dot under this side, okay, just to hold that down. So now everything's on one level. And now we get to the great part of this card, which I haven't even shown you yet. And it's this. It's called Strong and Beautiful. If you have stamped with me before, you have probably seen this set. It is one of my go-to sets. Because, I mean, as women, do we not need to build each other up? We need to really build each other up. We need to build up our daughters and mothers, our girlfriends, our aunts, our cousins. Everyone that's in our lives needs to be built up, and this stamp covers it all. Okay, you're amazing. That's a fact. Happy Mother's Day. You have what it takes to be unstoppable, and I couldn't be more proud. Love that. God made you my mother, but love made you my friend. I do love you're like a diamond, resilient, strong, and beautiful. So many great sentiments here, and this one is retiring, so you can't quite find sentiments just like this again. So you'll want to make sure and add that to your stamp collection. Now, we're going to sneak in a new color called Evening Evergreen. It's what I would call a neutral green because it's so dark. It's almost black, so it's a neutral, okay? Which is, I love to use neutrals in my stamping because, I don't know, I like to use neutrals in my stamping rather than what color was used on the card because I think that allows the card itself to shine. And the sentiment doesn't try to like compete. That's just my mental theory. I'm going to use the one that says unstoppable, couldn't be more proud. And I'm going to just stamp that right there with Evening Evergreen and pop that up with some dimensionals. Probably should have let that dry. We will cross our fingers and see if it holds up to my flipping it so quickly. We shall cross our fingers there. Okie dokie, Smokey. Awesome! It worked. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out that small bloom punch again. Okay? Oh, come on, people. And we are going to just pop one fresh freesia flower from that. And we are going to pop that up with a dimensional. And I'm going to try something. I love this. I colored it with, I colored the center with a fresh freesia blend, which we have blends in all of the new in colors, which is exciting. But I'm just going to try one with daffodil and see what it looks like. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. Actually, let's do it with fresh freesia because that will coordinate quite well. Oh, you know what? I keep calling it fresh freesia. This orange color is pale papaya. So let's do that. Oh yeah, that looks good. So you just kind of have to keep going around until it's the right color. All right, these are alcohol-based markers, so they will color and dry. Think of it like a Sharpie. That's what I always think about when I'm using my Stampin' Blends. And I'm actually going to pick that up with a paper snip and put that right on my small bloom there. Isn't that cute? That's even better. Like, I like the freesia, but I love the papaya. Oh, looks like I left. This happens from time to time. You're a little sticky. Oh, I guess it is still there. It just didn't get stuck hard enough. There. Okay, so there is our cute little flower. Oh, it's on the little hooky between here and there. So let's get one more little dimensional. Actually, I'm going to stick that dimensional right there and pop that flower on there. So that makes it stick right where it needs to be. Okay, so your kit will actually come with enough supplies to make 2 of each card. You will either need to get the stamp sets to complete these projects, unless you already have them, which you may. Or you can use whatever sets you have in your stamp collections, okay? And let me make sure. Anywho, you get it. There's another one of these somewhere. It's just buried at this point. Oh, here it is. So you'll have all of the supplies to make 2 of each card, okay? And you'll have 6 cards when you're done. Way cheaper than Hallmark, if I can say so myself. So let us review how you can get this make and takes for free. If you have an order of 30 or more, then you get 6 make and takes in the mail. And you need to do this by Friday. Do it tonight before you forget. But if you've got to run, you need to do it. Definitely do it by Friday. This is the host code, but the link is included, is in the host code in the email that I sent you or on this Facebook post. For every $50 you spend, you get 2 bolts of ribbon. And if you spend $100, you get 4 bolts. Here are the stamps that we use: Strong and Beautiful, Arrange a Wreath, High Tide, and Small Bloom. And as soon as we get off here, I will draw for a winner for the pastel pearls. So thanks for joining me at card class tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I will send an email out with the recording from this class, and you'll have the PDF instructions for these projects. All right, friends. Good night.